Good afternoon, this is Tyler Dawn Rosenquist of the Ancient Bridge, and I'm here with this week's small bite of fruit. I always ask every week, sometimes several weeks in advance, saying, Father, I don't know how to talk about this fruit, and goodness is one of those. And it's just, there's a lot of things to say, but what needs to be said and what do I need to say, and oftentimes what do I need to learn? And what's been following right before, right after all these teachings is a test. And I had goodness tested this morning really bad. And I'll be waiting a few days before posting this one. See, I find that the problem isn't so much with goodness, but it's with wanting to be bad. And I'm not talking about like going out to the bar and getting drunk or, just lying or doing any of the easy sins. I mean, the things that are easily identifiable as sin. No, the big problem with goodness is that when someone does bad to us and we want to do bad in return. And somebody did bad to me this morning and they were really cruel. I mean, I guess they made a comment that they didn't think I was going to see. They made fun of the way I present myself. I guess I come across as confused. Not confused, I'm just not polished. And I have to kind of laugh because, everybody's saying, oh, these politicians, everybody just wants a slick politician. They want someone polished in their presentation. And so they get criticized for being slick, although people vote for them because they're slick. And I'm not slick, and that comes across as being incompetent, I guess, if somebody wants to slam me. So anyway, they made a whole bunch of comments, but this, and this, and this, and this, and I guess they didn't think they were commenting on my page, but they were, and so when I responded, I guess they were somewhat surprised because they were talking about me in the third person like I wasn't even human. What was my response? Well, there was my physical response, which was not what my internal response was. My internal response was wanting to make them feel the way they had made me feel. I'm not comfortable doing this, and I've said that on numerous occasions. It's hard for me to sit here and talk to looking at myself because I'm not used to talking. Well, I am used to talking to myself, just not used to looking at myself when I'm doing it and having it possibly be judged by an audience, but I'm not polished. I'm very new at doing this. Those of you who know me know that before February, I never spoke in front of a camera, ever, to teach for any reason. And then someone got me doing it, and it's been difficult for me. It hasn't been easy. So anyway, it's embarrassing to not be polished. But there's only one way to get comfortable with doing this, and that's to keep doing it. So I'm not good at this, and it may make me seem stupid. May make me seem confused. I'm not confused. Sometimes I just am not quick to know what the next thing I'm going to say is. And when you're doing this on the fly, when you're recording a half-hour video and you lose track of where you are at 20 minutes, you're not going to start all over again. I mean, really. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have chickens and a garden, and I have better things to do than to try and make a perfect video. Not trying to make a perfect video. So anyway, this guy made me feel like dirt. Why? Was it because I was being a jerk? No, it was because he disagreed with me on something I said. Okay? And so often in this movement we get this. It's like you can't just disagree with somebody. You have got to demean them. You've got to shame them. You've got to make everyone else... You've got to mock them to the point where nobody else wants to listen to them. It's like, oh, well, I see the comment that this guy made, and she's not worth listening to. Well, that's why we do those things. They do it in politics. A lot, it's like they don't talk about the actual issues. character assassination, slander. They make the other guy seem stupid so that they don't have to deal with the issues. You see it a lot in religion. You see it a lot in the abortion debate, and just with everything. We don't talk about things anymore. We're not allowed to disagree with each other anymore. If you disagree with me, you must be some kind of idiot because I'm some kind of wonderful and perfect and I know everything. So if you disagree with me, the problem couldn't be with me. I can't be wrong. You must be an idiot. Really? That's how we treat each other. But that's not good. That's bad. Okay, and yeah, people are always going to do that to us. And we've just got to be aware that people are always going to do that to us. The problem is that we're very quick when somebody does something like this to respond in kind, or worse. And if we don't respond in kind, maybe get a little bit passive-aggressive and recruit friends. That was a big temptation for me. I wanted to go on my Facebook page and say, oh my gosh, this guy just made this horrible comment to me and he's misrepresenting me. You know, hoping that they're going to go over there, you know, and stick up for me. I didn't do it. I wanted to do it. I was tempted. I was sitting at the computer and I was in pain. Really in pain. Wanting to just be a total jerk and to get him. But that's not right. I would have been being bad. So often with the fruit of the Spirit, we see its converse better. You know, it's not that we see what good fruit looks like, it's that we see what the lack of good fruit looks like. And all the things that I wanted to do were pretty bad fruit. They were all bad. They were not loving. This guy, I didn't want to treat him with covenant loyalty, so no love there. Peace? Are you kidding? I wanted full-blown war. Patience? Oh, no, I didn't want to be patient at all. Is kind? Oh, are you kidding me? Gentle? No, I wanted to rip the skin off his hide. You know, self-control? Oh, I didn't want any. Didn't want any of that. But sat there in pain and I said, oh my gosh. This is my witness here. This is me choosing how I'm going to represent the character of my king. Do I respond in kind? Even though that's what I want to do and that's the easy thing to do? Or do I bite my tongue and I just swallow my pride? And do I call him gently on his behavior and point out that he did not treat me like a sister in Messiah? And that he, instead of just disagreeing with me, he was divisive and insulting, and that we shouldn't do that to each other. So I did that. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And it was hard. Because I got flesh just like everybody else's. Now, I've been having to kill mine because when you get up in front of people, you don't have a right to be in your flesh anymore. You just don't. Whether you're posting memes on your Facebook page, you know, whether you're posting scriptures, whether you're pontificating, whatever, we lose our right to have bad fruit with impunity once we start representing the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and his Messiah and his word. We lose our right to be jerks and to act badly, and I wanted to be a jerk. Took every ounce of my strength to resist. It was hard. But I don't have a right. My life is not my own anymore. You know, for years I would listen to these teachers, and I got a thrill in my heart when they called the people who disagreed with them idiots. When they slandered everyone who disagreed to the point where you actually thought that anyone who disagreed with the teacher was an idiot. and deserved to be demeaned, and deserved to be ridiculed, deserved to be made fun of. You know, and so it's happening to me now as a teacher, and I guess I have it coming because I lived vicariously through these guys, and I paid them to do it. I didn't just listen, I sent them money. But then God started to change my heart. He started to use His Torah, His laws, His perfect laws of justice and righteousness, and kindness and compassion, to start changing my heart. And their insults started to bother me. And their gesturing and their demeaning of anyone who disagreed really started to bother me. And the more their antics started bothering me, the more I realized that the only reason I enjoyed their teachings were because of the antics. Because once I stopped enjoying people being demeaned and ridiculed, made fun of, once I stopped enjoying the bad that they were dishing out, I found that their teachings just weren't really that good. The more I studied context, the more I realized that sometimes they didn't have a leg to stand on, and they needed the antics to attract an audience of people who enjoy antics. Sometimes people who wish they could say those kind of things to people and get away with it and live vicariously through the insults. That was me. That was bad. I enjoyed the way they treated people. And from the anonymity of Facebook, I did it to people too. Because you see, we can't pay people and promote people who misrepresent God's character like that without becoming poisoned ourselves. What we do, what we promote, becomes our sin. If I push you towards a teacher who is mocking people, that's me mocking them and saying, you should be enjoying watching them mock people too. You should be enjoying them calling people idiots. You should approve of that. See, whatever I push, I'm telling people to approve of. There's a teacher out there calling people unclean, or demon-possessed, or jealous, or whatever, just because people disagree with them, however peaceably. And I'm promoting that teacher. I'm promoting their behavior. You cannot promote a teacher without promoting their behavior. And we've got a big problem in the Hebrew Roots movement with bad behavior from teachers. And paying them to run roughshod over people. When we pay someone to be cruel to people, that's us. That's us. We're being cruel to people because we're not only enabling it, we're doing it. We're not only making it possible, we're making it happen. We're giving them a larger audience, better equipment, I can't pay someone to do something and then not be responsible for what they're doing. And that's bad. And now I'm going through judgment because of that behavior. So I can't really complain when somebody does it to me because I used to enjoy it. Now I know why they're doing it, and I know the thrill it gives them to be able to shame somebody online, not considering that other person to even be human, not even giving them the credit for their basic humanity, but treating them like they're some kind of disposable commodity, that they're there just for my purposes to agree with or disagree with. If I agree with them, then I love them and I'm kind to them and I can show good fruit. Fake fruit, but good fruit. If they disagree with me, if they challenge me, then I can treat them like garbage. And I can call it good fruit because I can say, well, John the Baptist used to call people snakes and vipers. Yes, John the Baptist used to call corrupt people snakes and vipers. He didn't call people snakes and vipers who disagreed with him. Those specific people, if you study first century context, the people he was calling snakes and vipers and the people that Yeshua was coming against weren't the people who disagreed with him. They were actual snakes and vipers. They were corrupt. They were destroying the temple system. They were destroying people's lives. And they had the power to do it. But Yeshua, he wasn't cruel to people who simply disagreed, like we are. Because Yeshua wasn't about ego. We're about ego. And when someone dares disapprove of us, disagree with us, well then, I guess we figure they just have it coming. And we've got to stop that. Because that's not the character of our king. That is not a kingdom mentality. That is a worldly mentality. So, that is your small bite of fruit for this week. And have a really great day. And remember, everyone out there has difficulties. Some people are going through unspeakable tragedies that they're not showing to the world. There are millions and millions of people out there who are close to breaking, close to suicide, close to any number of things. Our words can either be their salvation to lift them up out of that pit, or we could be the ones that push them off the cliff. And so before we speak an unkind or harsh word, we better know that we're justified. We better know that we're justified. No guessing. No guessing, no claiming ignorance. It's one thing to have a bad day and to have a few off words. It's another thing to live a lifetime of cruelty. I see way too much of it out there, and I see too many people enjoying it. And that used to be me, but no more. If you can't say what you believe by just stating facts, then what exactly is it that you believe? If you can't treat a person like a human being, is that the Holy Spirit or is that another spirit entirely? People don't have any obligation. People don't exist just to prop us up and agree with us. They don't. They're individuals and they're real. They have real families, real lives. Let's start treating them like they do. Let's start treating them like we want to save lives instead of destroy them and tear them apart just because they committed the unforgivable sin of disagreeing with us. Have a good day. And you know what? Be kind.